You know, sometimes the best stories don't come from the headlines, they come from wagging tails. Yeah, Tuesday's Veterans Day Telethon here on 11Alive didn't just raise money, it also was raising hope. 11Alive's Kaitlyn Ross was there helping to bring in those pledges and work with veterans to help pair them with four-legged friends, and you were having a ball.
I was having a ball. I had an absolute blast. We had so much fun. We were there from sun up to sundown, and we were raising money the whole time. I cannot tell you how grateful we are for the community that came together. It was amazing. Every time we would do a live hit out there, the phones would start ringing, people were sharing their stories, they were donating. And the most touching part about it, Chesley, was that we were hearing from veterans. At one point, a veteran who was in the hospital called, and he said, look, I don't have any money to give, but I want you to know that by watching this telethon, I'm seeing that I'm not alone. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the most powerful things that could happen. Veterans understanding that there's such a community of support and love out there for them. Mm-hmm. And the fact that 11Alive put this together is just incredible.
We were with you during the morning, but you
Yes.
were there for 15 hours.
All
right?
day, all day.
All day long. and I understand there was a moment where you got pretty emotional. Tell me about that moment.
Yes, it was incredibly emotional. Right at the end of the day, you know, we had been there all day, we had heard so many powerful stories, and they had a graduation. And so the graduates walked across the stage, it was really impactful. But right at the end of the telethon, a woman walks in who couldn't make it to the graduation because she was at a medical appointment. Mm-hmm. And she's just been diagnosed with stomach cancer. Mm. And so she missed the graduation because she was at the hospital with her dog. And she just said, you know, I didn't want to get emotional, but I want people to know how much this matters. I don't have any family in town. I don't have any friends in town. I am by myself. But she was able to get that news of that devastating diagnosis with her dog by her side because of Dogg K9 Foundation. Wow. And if you think about the power in that moment, it's just incredible.
Wow. How much did you guys raise?
More than $100,000, which is amazing. So I think the last count that I saw was $109,000, but the donations are still open. So the telethon is over, but you can still give money. You can scan a QR code, you can call the number, you can go directly to Dogg's website. We have their website and the donation linked on our website, 11alive.com/veterans, and that's how you can donate. They are really looking for corporate sponsors. So a sponsor who might want to say, I want to sponsor a dog directly, which is what Mottlick Injury Attorneys did. I thought that was so cool. So they sponsored this dog named Surge, and they get to follow Surge from when he's a puppy through his training to when he gets paired with a veteran. So they get to follow the whole process, and just think about how meaningful that is to get your whole team involved in something and see the fruits of your labor right there.
Yeah. Talk to me about how this works, right? We have this money, and then we buy the dogs. I'm saying we, like I'm the dog. Walk me through the process.
Yeah, so Dogg K9 Foundation was founded by a veteran, Blake Rashad. He goes by Top Dog. And so he uses that money to then sponsor dogs. Okay. So each of these dogs gets more than 400 hours of training, more than 400 hours. Wow. The minimum to become a service dog is 200 hours, but he is offering between 400 and 500 hours of training. And what he does when those dogs come in is he gets them as puppies, and then he keys them specifically to a veteran. So if a veteran is struggling with mobility issues, with night terrors, with PTSD, they train that dog for that veteran. So for example, there was a veteran who uses a wheelchair and has trouble, like his keys will fall out of his pocket, and he couldn't get his keys. And so the dog that he has is trained to pick up his keys off the ground and hand them back to him. And so it's training those dogs for those specific tasks, and that's where the money goes. It's into that training, and then it's also into education, which I think is so cool, because so many veterans, they don't know when they get these service dogs, the ADA accommodations that exist for them. So legally, they are able to go into the dance recital, the movie theater, the restaurant, and he provides that education. Then they also provide the wraparound mental health services, which is what so many of our veterans struggle with, is that mental health component and feeling like they're alone or they don't have the support that they need, and that's what Dogg gives them. It really turns into a family.
Gotcha. You got 30 seconds left here. Talk to me about what this means to you personally. Was it a story for you that got you involved?
So years ago, I met Blake at an event, and his pitch was, did you know that a service dog can cost $25,000? And it was a veterans event, and I'm looking around at these veterans, and it was for food assistance. And so if these veterans couldn't afford to put food on the table, they certainly couldn't afford $25,000 for a dog that was going to save their life. Even knowing the difference it made, it's so out of reach for so many of the brave men and women who served. And the opportunity to give them that, to give them their life back, it means more than anything.
Always a good job.
You're the best.
She does it. She does it for us all, folks. Yep. And as you mentioned, the telethon is over, but the fundraising continues, folks. You can contribute by texting the word veteran, that's veteran, to the number 404-885-7600, 404-885-7600, and you can donate right there because, I mean, they deserve it and much more.